Hello, this is Kurt Brown, also known as Saint Rambone, and I'm waiting for the day to compare my DNA test to Kurt Cobain, my alleged half-brother. I think he was murdered for the money, set up from the outset. Dad, Bruce Brown, was killed in 1986 or 87. 1 week after hearing Kurt Cobain, his son, on the radio, per my father. He wanted me to join him, but I was in kind of a stroke condition, soon forgot it. Had I known what was going to turn out, I would have gone just the simple fact he was killed by a bunch of low-end crap that probably crawls around the coast on the west coast of California, parasitizing everything it comes in contact with. But the question is, would I have survived? Would I be alive today if I had hooked up with my half-brother, per my father, Bruce Dale Brown? Would I have hooked up with Kurt Cobain of Nirvana in 1986 or 87? Would I still be alive? My mother and I were jumped. The government does not care. Just as in all things, whenever the sheriff was stealing, they looked the other way. The way I look at it, the United States is not what they say it is. If you have any money, you better be very careful with your wills and such. Predatory capitalism is at play, and we've also got new weapons on the horizon since 1983. I call them psychological operations weaponry. Anything from these stunning devices, things that kind of run to the same hertz as the brain or more. And then you got the chemicals they can inject with that make you forget forever until something is done for you or changes or whatever. I was in a sort of stroke for 32 years, memories coming and going, completed several degrees. But I think my brother Kurt Cobain was killed. They won't allow me to test my DNA against him. I think I saw Kurt once. I remember he was actually in Mobile, I think, before he died in 94. I think he was there, I'm not sure. I like to get my DNA compared to my brother, though. I feel sorry as hell for him. He was killed. What I understand, someone had arranged the financing to be 90% of the Nirvana proceeds to go to him and 5% to each of the other musicians in the band. You got to remember, these are, he was with Geffen Records at the time. Geffen Records sold out to Universal Music Group. And I contacted either of those, they never contact me back. Surprise, surprise. I contacted Kurt Cobain's ex-wife, Courtney Love, and his alleged daughter, Frances Bean Cobain, and they have not gotten back in touch with me, and I contacted the Seattle coroner. Psychological operations weaponry can leave you in a military-type assault. You and your family will be victimized. Any wills and inheritances will be changed. Billionaire predators probably have been born through this method. The use of psychological operations weaponry was known to exist in 1983 per a CIA fact report online that said the USA was doing psych ops against Russia on their coast to move a fleet through there. That was an ironic report I found online because I remember in 1983 we were hit on the USS Reed FFG-30 with what I call the Flying Mason Cement Vibrator. There appeared to be a refueling vessel pull up to our port side, and per the captain, there was a British ship to our aft. I think he was a captain, and per the officer from the combat information control person who came from below, he said it was Russian. So, which one is it, Russian or British? In psychological operations weaponry, you cannot even know if a refueling vessel is perhaps a tender with psychological operations weaponry equipment. We ran into one of those on a voyage afterward. The captain made note of it to me that it was a tender with equipment brought up from a submarine. Oh boy, those two voyages. Went out on one. We did the refueling thing, the Flying Mason Cement Vibrator weapon tool. They also had run a piece of PVC pipe, a 2-inch pipe, through the enlisted men's lounge and to the top side. They say it was venting. I think it was something to do with this weaponry where our missiles soon misfired. We went back to the base. Everyone went AWOL. I went home for the weekend. I thought I saw a nuclear flash on Saturday from San Pedro, California in 1983, late 1983. Went back to the base on Monday. Our fire control technician said a nuclear missile had detonated. We went out on the vessel. I was told to swim at San Clemente Island if I wanted to by the captain. Another time I did not listen to advice. And then we went out to a nuclear area at sea, and I was hit with nuclear radiation. And also, I believe while we were en route to that area, there was a vessel in our way that made us turn to the port. We were going to the northwest direction, west-northwest, 1,000 miles per my calculations. But at that point that tender was there in front of us, he said it was a tender with, he said it was a British tender with equipment brought off from a submarine. I'm not sure if it was even the captain. It could have been a artificial intelligence simulation. Artificial intelligence and psychological operations. It's a new wave of warfare with nukes. It used to be missiles, bullets, and hand grenades. That's yesterday's news, boys. This is Kurt Brown, also known as Saint Rambone, founder of Mobile Audit Club website, alleged half-brother to Kurt Cobain of Nirvana. I've contacted several of those boys, including the Foo Fighters. I haven't heard anything. I might be dead, talking to myself in my little shadow head, or they didn't cut me up again. God, why don't you save me here? Take me up. I wrote a song, put it on Quatrains 1 on the Mobile Audit Club website. I renamed the picture there, the queerest of the queer. I renamed it to Something Strange so I can get it displayed at various museums on the day that I die, which may be pretty soon if this third testicle turns into erectile dysfunction. I was hit with radiation, and I believe my brother and I, Kurt Cobain, share a very similar dysfunction in the Y chromosome. If we were tested, it would test at 99.9% probability certainty. Considering my father was killed, my mother and I were jumped, I'd say 110%, Captain. 100%, 10% certainty, but they won't test it, and he probably would be swapped out anyway. If I think we were hit here in the United States with psychological operations weaponry, you look at what's going on the East Coast of the United States, it's like they're enslaved to various external forces. They don't even control their own country. And it's kind of like that way in Los Angeles and some other places. But I don't know what to say anymore. I don't know where to run, where to hide. Put a little ditty on the starting it on the Mobile Audit Club Quatrain 1 website. One thing I noticed about the people of California, they want you to be quiet. Leave it as it is. We can't change things. The current statue of power is our power to be a statue too. Ah, man, I'm thinking about disappearing over the horizon, kids. Once upon a time in America, if I had stood with my brother, he would have made it. The only way a millionaire is going to make it today is understand psychological operations weaponry and have someone watch his back, and even that won't qualify always. I don't like millionaires necessarily. I think they're a bunch of arrogant, pugnacious, overfed brats. But I can't stand to see people killed for their money in mass multitude, people who are productive, so that a few guys can be billionaires like Attila the Hun, and we lose all of our people. All those inventors, scientists, artists, all those people that make the world spin different. This is Kurt Brown, St. Rambone Mobile Audit Club. Hoping one of these days I can test Kurt Cobain's DNA. I'm beginning to wonder if Francis Bean Cobain is alive and if Courtney Love is alive. In the world of artificial intelligence and psych ops, you can swap people out or ships. We thought it was a refueling vessel, and I think it was at Tinder with Psych ops equipment in 1983, and I think in 1999 my boss Kenny Doll was swapped out. Who daddy quarantined by himself, almost being burned alive. Kenny Doll Kenny Doll's my friend, man. We worked at Federal Deposit Insurance Corporation together. I was there on the day of banking deregulation. That sucker almost became a Christy critter. Wow. Yeah, I'll be taking some pilot license with a Bob. Fly my ass out of here. Hey, Kurt Brown, St. Rambo Mobile Audit Club saying, let me test my DNA with my brother Kurt Cobain without psychological operations weaponry in the room. They'll put me up there comparing me to a jackass. Maybe Bruce Dale Brown will pop up. Pop, 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 bang, bang, diddy, 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 bang, 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 bang.